Narcissistic people will often go no contact or grey rock on you because they believe you're the one that's the narcissistic person, and they're all sweet and innocent and light in the entire situation. You'll notice victims question themselves. They look at their behaviour and question what they could have done differently. Narcissistic people question other people, blame other people, judge other people. So with growing awareness of narcissism from a few years ago, when it was very little known and very little understood, narcissistic people get a hold of the information, believe that their victim is the narcissist, and that they're going no contact to protect themselves from their victim. Not all narcissistic people, some narcissistic people know exactly what they're up to, although they will sell it as though they're the victim and they're the one that's going no contact. So when it comes to a narcissist, their no contact is their ghosting, and it's a repeat pattern of behaviour. Their grey rock is their indifference because they lack the empathy to care. The big difference between no contact and ghosting, grey rock and indifference is the intentions, the mindset, the place that the person is coming from. When it comes to no contact and ghosting, both involve not speaking to the other person. Both involve cutting off all forms of communication. Both involve blocking people. Both involve that distance from another person. So when you go no contact with a narcissist, you are cutting them out of your lives. When a narcissist ghosts their victim, the narcissist is cutting that person out of their life temporarily, usually, until the narcissist feels like they need that person for something again. When it comes to no contact, this is a deliberate method to distance yourself from a narcissistic, from a toxic individual, to regain your peace of mind, to regain your clarity, to regain your confidence and your personal growth. And it takes a great deal of emotional strength in order to go no contact, so that you can heal and regain your self-respect and your dignity. Victims usually find it, to begin with, very, very challenging to go no contact, because they still care about the narcissistic person, because they think, oh, perhaps it's not that bad, because they've been gaslighted into downplaying the narcissist behaviour, and they've been gaslighted into blaming themselves and taking responsibility for everything that the narcissist does wrong. So no contact is no easy feat. However, once we start to recognise the patterns, once we've got no contact with a toxic person, recognise how much easier our life gets, and that supportive people help you through your struggles, narcissistic people put you in your struggles and your difficulties, it then slowly becomes easier to go no contact. However, the majority of people find it very difficult to go no contact with their parents, with their childhood friends, with their family members, with their ex-partners, if they're co-parenting. Yet it is a means to an end of the manipulation and the emotional turmoil that a narcissistic person will put you through. When it comes to the narcissist ghosting, this is a deliberate act to punish somebody who is no longer conforming to the narcissist's demands, who is no longer serving the narcissist, who can potentially expose the narcissist, who has criticised the narcissist by going to meet up with their friends and family. Ghosting is because a narcissistic individual completely lacks the empathy to care about you. So they're going to cut off all communication because they didn't get their needs met by you. They are going to block you and unblock you and block you and unblock you and appear when it suits and disappear when it doesn't. Yes, when going no contact, we can think, maybe I've made a mistake, and then try one more time to recognise that no, it wasn't a mistake. The mistake was reopening communication with them. Narcissistic people ghost you because they want to reinforce that control over you. And they ghost you because they're avoiding any forms of confrontation. When they can't gaslight and deflect and deny and accuse and attack and feign ignorance, they fall silent, they up and leave, they ghost you. They have no more to do with you. So there is a fine line, but a big difference between no contact and ghosting. When it comes to grey rock and indifference, both involve limiting any form of emotional responses, emotional reactions. Both involve limited communication. Now, with grey rock, you are no longer going to give a narcissistic person your emotional reactions. When they're guilt tripping you, you're no longer going to just bow down and give them what they want from you. With a narcissist indifference, they just don't care about what they've done. They're just not interested. They couldn't be bothered. It's your fault. You made them do it. They don't care. Grey rock is disengaging from the narcissist and their manipulation tactics. It's minimalizing your supply to them. No contact is cutting off your supply. Grey rock is minimalizing your supply, so that the narcissistic individual loses interest in you because they can no longer get what they want from you, and as they're no longer getting what they want from you, hopefully they will then ghost you, and as they believe it's their idea, they're more likely to leave you alone. You're limiting your emotional responses, if at all possible, not giving them any form of emotional response. When they come playing the victim, the woe is me, when they're trying to provoke you and bait you and get you to explain yourself and defend yourself to them, when they're smearing your name, when they want you to come begging and pleading with them to stop, you're going to stop communicating with them. You're going to get your feelings out far, far away from them or anybody that can inform them, and focus on you and your happiness and what brings you joy. Grey rock is a conscious decision to protect yourself from those where you've tried every method you can possibly think of at that moment in time to get them to see what they don't want to hear. When it comes to the narcissist's indifference, they simply lack the concern. They're not interested. If you've lost a loved one, they're not interested one little bit. They'll feign interest in front of an audience, or if they're trying to love bomb you. Other than that, then they're not actually interested. Yet if they've lost a loved one, they will use that year in, year out to excuse their toxic, hurtful behaviour towards you. It's very difficult losing a loved one. It can be very difficult around anniversaries. Genuine people don't use the loss of a loved one as an excuse to hurt somebody who is still around. Narcissistic people do. They lack the empathy to care. They can hear what you're saying very well and use it against you. They're not listening to what you're saying because they simply do not care about you. It's all about themselves and them getting their own way. They lack the compassion. It's a characteristic trait in them. It's part of who they are. It's part of their personality. Whenever you go to discuss something you've achieved, they're not interested. They're envious. Whenever you go to discuss your concerns, they're not interested. Unless they can use them to their advantage, they are not interested. Your grey rock, you will have spent months, years, decades being interested, trying to help them, trying to support them, until you get to a point where you recognize that they just bring you down and you cannot raise them up no matter how much you try. They just bring out the worst in you. And no matter how much you try, you don't get anywhere with them. So you have to go grey rock, because you cannot go no contact. If you can go no contact with a narcissist, that is what you need to do to protect yourself. If not, grey rock, unlimited contact. So yes, grey rock and indifference can appear to be similar. However, it's the intentions behind the behaviour. Narcissistic people are looking to control you. You are looking to cut ties with them so that they're no longer pulling your strings, and you can live life on your terms and leave them to go and live their life on theirs. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support of the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, and a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you'd like to go and check those out, they'll be in the description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.